Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen, talking about some minor drama, ship colour customization, and some dev responses on should Star Citizen use the Unreal 5 engine, as well as some graphical control and options in the future. I also want to talk about jobs at Cloud Imperium that are beyond just dev work there. I was talking to Cameron, who makes some pretty good Star Citizen content looking at a variety of things, including bugs, testing ships and weapons, and talking about game systems. He recently made a video talking about hex code colours for ship customization that Cloud Imperium talked about around 5 years ago. There was a little more drama around this as Cameron got a 24-hour ban on Spectrum for potentially being hyperbolic and a bit sassy with mods after they moved his thread to the fan creation section of the Spectrum forums. I saw people complaining that the mods are bad or Cloud Imperium are suppressing posts. I don't know about that. That may well be true in some cases and not in others. Do I think that mods are overzealous sometimes? Yes, across all platforms. Do I think certain things should be more freely engaged and talked about? Yes, I like civil conversation. I like things to be talked about by the community. I get all my video ideas from literally listening to the community, whether it's something that's negative or positive or whatever. Do I think some people are sometimes out to make trouble? Yes, of course I do. But I don't think Cameron is one of them. A lot of these situations are often shown out of context, or they're because there's a lack of context or miscommunication, or someone's having a bad day. There's something like that behind them, rather than well, this just proves that there's some sort of weird suppression going on, or, Cloud Imperium can't take criticism. Of course they can take criticism, they need to be able to take criticism, and they are rightly criticised for certain things, and they do respond to a lot of things, but not others. It's a mixed bag, based on your point of view and what question that you may have asked. I am very much encouraging people to post their thoughts on the appropriate sections of Spectrum forums in a civil manner based on whatever they want to ask Cloud Imperium. I do think it's worth asking them things. There's lots of threads there, lots of people get feedback, and I love the engagement that Cloud Imperium sort of has on the project. They're not perfect by any means. In fact, a lot of the time it's a double-edged sword how transparent they are, because, well, there's a lot more that they should be answering, a lot more questions that they need to be answering and sometimes don't. Me and Zin as well, we're no strangers to being banned on forums. Zin is banned from r/food for accurately pointing out that recipes are not homemade if they're out of a packet. But more focused on the topic, ship customization is incredibly important to Star Citizen. Cloud Imperium have told us that we will be getting some reasonably in-depth manufacturer at time of purchase customization for our ships, and aftermarket customization, allowing for a lot more as well. But exactly what that's going to allow us to do is still really left in limbo at this stage. Cloud Imperium need to address it again. Cloud Imperium sells skins for ships currently, and it would be good to know if the hex code and sort of high level of colour and paint customization is still in the plans there. And if they are there, well, what are the use of some of these skins? Especially the more basic ones that I go, well, I could easily make that skin, it's just a colour change. Now, this should be addressed at some point thoroughly in the future when custom paints are viable from a tech performance and UI standpoint, and they actually have Cloud Imperium focusing on them. I'd probably expect this sometime after physicalized components turn up, and we have shops like Cousin Crow's Custom Craft already in game that will allow this type of aftermarket customization once it's ready. I'd like it if Cloud Imperium would talk about their current plans for customization again, and updated us on major gameplay features and concepts with their latest ideas on them. I know they've previously said, well, sometimes they don't want to do that, because if they talk about their latest ideas and they don't actually turn out to be what they discussed, or there's two ways that they might go and they go one way but not the other, then players can get upset or disappointed that they didn't go the way that they wanted it. But I'm always going to want more information. Cloud Imperium never give me enough. I'm always hungry for more, but I run a YouTube channel that literally covers Star Citizen news. So give me more. Give me more news. That's my bias there. Me personally, with hex color and customization, I want the ability to have a large level of customization for my ship, and with the colors, I want to be able to have some basic color changes, be able to change it to lots of different colors, and be able to have some simple decals, or be able to do multiple different colors in different patterns on my ship, just easily, bam, just done. I'm also happy to purchase skins for real money even, if they are sort of interesting skins, like a dragon painted on a ship, things like that. Feel free to share your thoughts on this sort of topic in the comments below, as long as you remain civil. Have you ever wanted to work for Cloud Imperium on Star Citizen, but you don't have any marketable dev skills? Wait, this is actually starting to sound a bit like a shill ad, and it's not an ad! I just wanted to talk about this very briefly. Cloud Imperium are expanding, and it might be easier to get a job with them at the moment. We know that they've signed a 10-year lease for their new mega studio in Manchester, and they've got a new Frankfurt studio coming online early next year, mid-next year, sort of 2022. And there are various jobs listed on the Cloud Imperium website for those studios, as well as the Austin and LA ones. So you might be interested in some of them, and not all of them require game dev experience. There are junior QA jobs, as well as admin, HR, marketing, content creation, all that sort of jazz. There's moderators and workplace coordinator roles, to name just a few, beyond art, coding, and development specializations. I think Cloud Imperium have at least, 600 roles to fill over the next couple of years. Let's move on to some dev response stuff. So there was a thread: Dear CIG, I think you should study Unreal Engine 5 technology, Nanite. And we had a dev response from Cloud Imperium's Ali Brown, the Director of Graphics Engineering here. We've certainly looked at Unreal 5's tech presentations. It's very impressive stuff. However, it's not going to influence our short to mid-term development for several reasons. It's a huge paradigm shift that requires at least 3 large and complex pieces of technology to work together seamlessly to actually bring any benefit. Without the whole package of tech, it would actually be much slower than traditional rendering. This means it would take quite a huge time investment, and deciding which features get prioritized is our number one problem in the graphics team, and this tech isn't necessary to complete Squadron 42 or the Persistent Universe 4.0. Even if we had the tech today, the game wouldn't be any different. It requires completely new artwork, built fundamentally differently, so would either take years to rebuild all our assets, or would only be partially used for new locations. The tech requires a very heavy use of instancing to overcome the memory cost of such dense meshes, but the sheer quantity of assets in our game would likely make our game prohibitively large, and no one wants to develop or download a game that takes terabytes to install. However, the fundamental concepts of Nanite are likely to be quite influential for many game developers over the next 5 to 10 years, and it's certainly something we're following and discussing. Also, not everything would necessarily look or perform better with Nanite's approach. The tech lends itself to gnarly organic assets, and this makes up the vast majority of what has been demonstrated. For our hard surface assets, ships, locations, weapons, armor, etc., we make very heavy usage of parallax occlusion mapped decals, and these add an extreme level of detail with minimal cost. To achieve this with polygons would be hugely wasteful with almost no perceivable difference. So, lots of people always ask, should Star Citizen use the Unreal 5 engine, or is it going to move over to the Unreal 5 engine? No, it's not, for some of the reasons outlined above, and a lot of that tech and stuff. Cloud Imperium will absorb tech for the StarEngine and for their Gen 12 renderer and all that sort of jazz, as it is sensible to do so. They're not going to add stuff that's going to add many more years onto development or anything like that, and they're also sort of quite well developed in their engine and their renderer now, so a lot of this tech, they're not going to be moving engine or anything like that anytime soon, so don't expect it. Is there a plan to give greater graphical control to users in the near future? Again, Ali Brown, he said, the short answer is yes. The long answer is all CVARs were changed a while ago, with only specific CVARs then being whitelisted, and this process may have unintentionally taken some graphical options down in the process. Ali then goes on to ask, what does the OP want for console commands, because he may be able to whitelist them. So I would say if anyone wants any particular console commands whitelisted, to get on that thread and give Ali a poke. And it's sometimes as easy to get an answer and to get something changed in the game as just starting a thread or asking a dev, if you see what I mean. He went on to say, we've not looked into exposing more control due to the Gen 12 renderer, meaning every effect and most CVARs are changing. Also, most people tweak this stuff to get better performance, but most of the old CVARs relate to old systems that are no longer dominate performance. So the plan is to finish Gen 12, then profile the finished renderer, make any easy optimizations, expose the controls for stuff that still has a high cost, and then expose detailed memory controls that we talked about at CitizenCon. P.S. I'm also going to be doing a Q&A session soon, so keep an eye out for that if you have any more questions. There's also a little bit of talk from Ali about the potential for deeper camera controls that They want to make sure that they don't give any form of competitive advantage to anyone, and you're not going to be able to have sort of options that can turn off grass or turn off shadows, for example, that would then let you to see someone in the grass that you wouldn't normally be able to see. There was also a thread, Gen 12 renderer appears to be getting close. Would any devs who worked on it want to talk about it? The answer to that is basically take a look at the CitizenCon panel, but we know that Cloud Imperium are implementing more and more of the Gen 12 renderer and Vulkan over the next few major patches. It's also Thanksgiving today. It's the 25th of November, for Americans anyway, and Cloud Imperium staff look to be sharing the holiday time across their studios, which I actually think is a pretty sweet idea. So that appears to be what they're going to do in the future. If there's a sort of major holiday, they sort of share it between all the studios. Probably not in every case, but in some of them. It does mean that there's no Star Citizen Live this week, but we are in the middle of the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, and there's loads of new ships coming out too, so I'm probably pretty happy just covering that. But anyway, happy Thanksgiving to the appropriate viewers of my channel. We will be having a new ship later today, so look forward to that at the IAE. But what do you think? Are you excited for Gen 12 renderer updates? And what do you expect from ship customization in the future? Do you want Cloud Imperium to more regularly update us on older systems and gameplay features and mechanics and all that sort of jazz as they're thinking about them now, even if they're just in concept, even if they've only got part of the sort of gameplay there? Or do you want them to tell us when they're a bit more developed and they're ready to tell us? Do you think Cloud Imperium give us more than enough information already and they couldn't really possibly give us any more without taking away from the development of the project? Or do you demand more? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. It's November, and that means, yes, you're right, it's NordVPN season. All those delicious Nords are collected together to make the finest VPN that I shield for on my channel. Not only is NordVPN delicious, but it also protects. Check out the links below to get fantastic discounts, or go to nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. Do you dream of being at the controls of your spaceship in real life? Well, now you sort of can with Game Glass. It turns touchscreen devices into diegetic controllers for Star Citizen, and you can get the basic software free. Check it out in the links below. Every month we have a ship giveaway as well. This time it's for a Mercury Starrunner, a multi-crew ship that will let you do a bit of everything in-game now. Or at least most things. Lots of things in-game now. In the future it might allow you to do smuggling and data running too. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that is comment on any of my videos during November. More details down below. If you'd like to further support the channel, please consider clicking the join or thanks button under my videos, or even becoming a Patreon. You get some cool stuff to show that you're a true supporter of mine and Zin's art, some exclusive polls, ways of shaping the channel, some exclusive videos, all that sort of jazz too. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the verse.